Hi everyone, this is Laurece West, business voice and peak performance coach. Today I'm starting a mini series on how to feel successful within the series on how to stay centered under pressure. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to think about when you've been successful previously. I worked with somebody who was having a great deal of difficulty speaking in front of people. And when I started to query him on where he'd been successful previously, he said he was a champion at a certain sport. So, what I had him do before he gave a talk was really get into the energy of his body and how he was successful at that sport, and to stay in that energy for 5 or 10 minutes before he had to get up and present. And I had another student who was a singing student who was quite awkward. I was in a studio in New York with him, and he was singing from the microphone, and he was very awkward. And it turns out he had a black belt in a martial art. So I said, okay, go do your martial art. And he did it, and he looked really cool. And then I said, now come back and sing and do your martial art. So sometimes you can put things together, okay? Because in that situation, he had so much confidence. So it's like, take the hat where you're wearing that successful hat and move it over into that other area where you don't feel successful. Your interview, your presentation, your singing gig that's bigger than you've ever done before, or whatever, where you might feel pressure when you're under pressure. You want to really bring into your body this knowledge that you have, that where you're already successful, where you have a lot of confidence. When I borrow that confidence, take that hat and put it on you now, because you're the same person. It's just like that singer. He just felt, well, this is new. I don't really know what I'm doing. So he wasn't acting confidently and physically in his body. But when I him merge those two, he he was a powerhouse, right? Because physically he was so cool. So find and figure out where you feel confidence and successful, and bring that in. Feel that success in your body. The second thing I want to give you today is, in acting, we play status games. And so somebody might be a boss and somebody's an employee, somebody, is poor, somebody's rich. Every kind of dichotomy you can think of, will play those games in comedy improv. And so you go for an interview or you go for something that's challenging where you feel pressure. There's often a status difference that you feel. Okay, somebody's offering me a job and I'm here and they're there. And so what I want you to do is I want you to play with status games. I had a meeting with somebody who ostensibly had a much higher status than I did. And what I did was I actually imagined myself at a vertical place in my career where I actually had higher status so that we would be equal. And I sat and I thought, like, what does that feel like? What would that person act like? How would they behave? And and if I was just then on an equal level, we could be friends. So how would that work? And it's great because we all really just want to relate to each other as people. We don't really want to relate to each other with status differences, right? So if you're showing up for an interview, you want to say what you're going to contribute and how you can give to that. But if you're like, I'm not as good as, da, 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 you're not going to show up confidently. And people want to feel comfortable around each other. So the more confident you are, and the more you're feeling your success, the more that will manifest for you. So play with those techniques and let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear any questions you have, any other areas that you'd like me to do a video for you on. And if you'd like to do some work together, um, give me a call. Laurece West Studios, Easily Creative. Check there, and my numbers are there, and email me. Okay, take good care and feel successful. You got this. Feel it in your body. And until next time, sing and speak and do business with your heart. Take good care.